In June 2015, schools in BC were invited to be a part of the Ministry of Education's Innovation Partnership. Norma Rose Point School couldn't pass up the opportunity to be involved.
After lots of brainstorming as a team, we realized we were missing something vital and at the heart of who we are here at NRP.
The learners! In 2 short days, we came together as a working group to come up with this animate. Always learners at the center and always working in community.
A dictionary definition of the word collaboration goes as follows. Collaboration. Noun. The action of working with someone to produce or create something. We asked Norma Rose Point students to define the word collaboration. This is what they came up with. A time when groups work together. When a group of people work together to contribute and share new perspectives. Working together in a respectful manner, and when people interact and help each other in a situation. We have 2 main questions. Question number 1. Where is there value in collaboration? Question number 2. Where do we see signs of collaboration at Norma Rose Point? Our answers to number 1 are, opinions are shared. You get to share other people's opinions. It also shows you that not everything can be your way. You get to see others' perspectives, and 2 heads are better than 1. You also have one idea leads to another, and you have opportunities to correct mistakes and help out. What we mean by opportunities to correct mistakes. For example, if I write, I like fish because they're funny, I'm Fred. If it was just me, I'd turn it in and it would be wrong. However, with another partner, they could probably point out that I used the wrong there. It's supposed to be THEY''RE, there. If I didn't have that, if I only had myself, I would have turned it in the wrong one and probably gotten a lower mark. However, with my partner, I get a fixed there because I worked with a friend and they showed me how to fix it. And our answer to number 2. You get inquiry-based learning, which is almost always group work. Student-led conferences, which helps the teachers and the students connect. The teachers and the students talk about the school's purpose, which also helps the teachers connect. And conversations which lead to better results for both kids and adults, which usually happen from both.
ADRME. These stand for acquiring, developing, refining, mastering, and extending. Here at Norma Rose Point, you are graded with these 5 grades instead of percentages because these give you an actual word assessment instead of a meaningless number. Other important competencies. Some important skills at Norma Rose Point are communication, personal and social responsibility, creativity, and cultural understanding. Everything counts. All work counts, so every single piece of work I did in math will count towards my math grade. Same with science, LA, and socials. If I mess up on one thing, it won't fail me entirely, say like a quiz or something. NRP gives us freedom, but there are still problems with the freedom that are being worked out. Freedom means more responsibility. We are encouraged to think differently and independently critically about our world around us.
The 3 priorities and why are they important? Here are the 3 priorities.
Number 1, to teach with clear learning intentions.
Number 2, to emphasize the learning competencies in daily practice. Number 3, to establish principles and practices for meaningful communication with students and parents about student learning.
Let's represent these 3 priorities by imagining
A race! We can represent the rules of the race as the first priority. We can represent the process of the race as the second priority. And we can represent the award ceremony as the third priority. Let's begin with our first priority.
to teach with clear learning intentions.
Why?
Walk into the world of knowledge with no intentions and you'll find no value in what you are learning.
It's important to teach with clear learning intentions because students need to understand the knowledge they gain, they need to know what to search for, and they will be able to gain background knowledge and can have little framework and have innovative powers to thrive. And our second priority is
to emphasize the learning competencies in daily practice.
And why is that important?
It's important to focus on the process, not the result. It's how we take in the knowledge that matters. Why teach a student in a way which they can't comprehend? For example, it's about how you choose to run the race, not whether if you cross the finish line or not.
It's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you get hit and keep on going. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Third priority.
To establish principles regarding communication involving parents and children.
And why is it important?
This priority can be expressed through different ways of viewing report cards. Digital, no A, B, or C's. And why, you ask? Grades, especially letter grades, don't help with finding a student's true learning style. When you have grades such as exceeding, refining, acquiring, students aren't in a stressful, negative, competitive learning environment and they're always on the straight path of learning and they're able to find their learning style. And when students find their learning style, we can share it with parents.
Goal accomplished! This is when you evaluate the race.
Everybody wins!
Now let's compare the present to the future. By future, we mean if we stick to these 3 priorities.
In conclusion, we will have a safer learning environment, we will efficiently and successfully take in information and progress through life, plus much more positive impacts. We will also be able to contribute to society and make a better world. And there you have the 3 priorities.
The paradox. The paradox lies in that improving learning for students requires continuous feedback and learning that is flexible and builds competencies.
But what we also know is that traditional reporting is subject and content focused. It is fixed and inflexible. And prescriptive.
We've learned that we teach and learn in new ways. So, reporting needs to mirror what we know.
Visible learning. How do we know that a learner has understood a concept?
In other schools, the learning style is mainly individual and non-collaborative, which makes it hard for teachers to assess and to see if the student is capable of explaining the material and information to other people, and if they truly understand the concept. Students simply can look at learning as a chore, lose interest, and lose motivation. This style of learning is an example of a fixed mindset in an environment where students are afraid to make mistakes and explore. This can also lead to anxiety, poor learning habits, and results.
Romero's Point School focuses on critical thinking, communication skills, and collaboration. It includes more projects and inquiry-based learning rather than tests. This means teachers assess students' understanding rather than what students memorize. This approach is stress-free and cultivates a love of learning.
Our learning is based on many different topics.
First of all, inquiry-based learning. Next, good use of technology. After, students have lots of choices in school.
Here at Normal Point, there are less use of textbooks. There are better ways to show our learning. And there are more engaged students.
We are no longer traditional and we are more open-minded about what we do. We put in a lot of time, work, effort, and practice. This is the foundation of our learning.
We all have our own hopes and dreams. They may seem impossible, but they all start somewhere.
School is a place where dreams and hopes are always welcomed, and they help us find the first steps of where we can go next to achieve those dreams, hopes, and wishes.
Everyone has a wish list. It may not be a piece of paper, but it is still in your head, your thoughts, and your mind.
This girl wants to be a doctor. Throughout her life, she will overcome different stages that will help her become who she wants to be. To achieve her main goal, she will first have to reach her smaller goals.
Normal Point School helps us reach those first steps that will lead us to our wishes as we grow. How do we stay true to what we stand for? By believing in ourselves.
By putting in work, practice, and passion.
By helping others.
By never giving up.
And by standing strong.
And by accepting what comes our way.
Where do you see your learning going here at NRP? Well, you start at the start and go through the uphill, through the obstacles, a big downhill, ooh, steep uphill, steep downhill, a little bit of a bumpy ride. Careful there. So, are we finished?
No, because there's always more things to learn.